Welcome to Papillion UnScripted. I am Michael Severe, the place to go to hear from people that truly help Papillion feel like home. Guy's going to be joining us now. Has been doing that for at least 20 years. Jaworski, who's now a former city council member. How does that feel to hear that?
Good and bad. You know, it was a good run. I was proud to be a city councilman for 20 years, but you know, it's time that somebody else take over. You know, it gets to a point where maybe a little burnout, maybe just somebody new with new ideas.
Yeah. So you do 5 terms, which means you have to run a campaign. What was it like when you weren't running a campaign this last time, when the election cycle comes up and you don't have to do that?
Kind of nice, actually.
I bet.
I didn't have to worry about going to the election commission, getting all the data that I would have needed, setting up, printing places to print cards and stuff like that. So yeah, it was a little different, but it was nice. So
you've been in Papillion more than 30 years, right?
Been here since 1989.
All right. Where'd you grow up?
Bellevue. I was like, my parents' house was just like 7022 South 40th Street.
Wow.
Right off of Harrison.
That's where my wife's house.
Really?
House were right around the corner from there. That's pretty cool.
Good people come from there.
That is right. I always tell her. She likes to say South Omaha. That's what she says.
Well, I think it used to be.
It was.
Yeah, and then Bellevue took us over.
Exactly.
And I don't know what year that was, but.
Yeah. So you went to Bryan?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So what was it like growing up in that area at that time?
Actually, I wish all kids could grow up in that kind of an era. It was very laid back. The only rule my parents had were be home when the street lights come on.
Right.
You could roam anywhere you wanted. You could take your bike anywhere you wanted. Yeah. Never had to worry about anything. I don't think you can do that nowadays.
Yeah, there's some neighborhoods where you feel like you still can be comfortable doing that, but I agree with you. I know.
It's scary. So.
Not exactly the same. So you finished high school. Where'd you go to college?
I didn't go to college. I decided to join the workforce.
Wow, did you start at MUD right then?
No, my first few years I worked at a packing house, Greater Omaha Packing House.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like about 50% of people at one point did, right?
I tell you what, there's the owner of it, Henry Davis.
Yeah.
Great guy.
Yeah.
Awesome guy. So it was an experience. It was a tough job. I think really everybody should start out there and find out how hard you have to work to earn a paycheck. So.
Yeah, there were a number of high school football players that got jobs there and worked their first jobs doing that. Because you need big, strong guys to do some of those jobs.
Yeah, it was a tough job, without a doubt.
Yeah. So when did you join MUD?
1985.
Yeah.
I was there for 34 years.
Where'd you start? What'd you start off doing?
I was in construction. Started out as a pipe layer trainee. Then worked my way up. When I retired, I was foreman for the water repair office. We fix water main breaks, which there's a lot of.
There are a lot of them. I know. At least on my block, there are.
There's a lot.
Yeah. And so, what made you decide to run for city council?
I had a couple friends talk to me, and I said, you know what, I'll give it some thought. So then I started coming to council meetings. This was like a year before the election, so I thought, and because we knew the one person, I think it was Diane Badiato, she wasn't going to run again. I thought, you know what, this might be a perfect time to do it. So I came for a whole year, sat through every council meeting, and decided, you know what, I want to try it. So that's what made me do it, and I worked pretty hard because in the primary I got beat. Oh. But in the general, I won. I knocked on every door, talked to every resident in Ward 1. So, and I really think that helped me because I think I knocked on, I want to say, like 1,150 doors.
Wow.
And I got like 1,100 votes. So I think.
So everybody that saw you in person.
I think so, and I really appreciated that. So that was big for me. So.
You were living here. How much did that transition really teach you more about this city? Like, what didn't you necessarily know about where you were living once you saw behind the scenes of it?
Just being a resident and coming on the council, huge.
Yeah.
I was scared the first 6, 8 months because I was learning everything.
Sure.
You know, and when I got a council packet, most people get through a council packet, and that's when we used to have the books. We got computers now.
Right, yeah.
But it'd take me 6, 8 hours to get through a council packet, and we had to do it Friday, Saturday, Monday to get ready for the council meeting Tuesday.
Right.
And it was kind of funny because all the hours I was putting in, and I'm thinking, why did I do this? Right. But you learn as the more you're on here, you learn more because there's some stuff that was repetitive. You didn't really need to read it.
Right.
But so you learn that, and it's just, I was very honored to be on this council for 20 years. And it's a great city. I think a lot of people realize that. So
one of the things I find interesting is the relationships you build there on the council. Like, you're going to have somebody who maybe isn't going to disagree with you a lot. Maybe there are people that will disagree with you a lot. How was that? You know, because you saw guys, you see men and women come and go. What was that like, relationships?
I think one of the main reasons when I was coming to the council meetings before I was on the council, one of the main reasons I ran was because I thought the council was dysfunctional.
Really?
You had 4 people against 4 people. The city's not going to go anywhere like that. You had to mesh all that and get everybody working together. Yeah, you're not going to agree on everything, but still, you have to make sure the city's first and then your ward. You know, and that's a tough balance because a lot of people think since you're from Ward 1, you should just worry about Ward 1. No, you need to worry about the whole city, in my mind. Yeah. And I think once we got together and started working together, the council from 2002 to now, you know, there's like 6 of us that are still the same, and we all started respecting each other. Maybe we not always agreed with each other, but we started respecting each other, and things started going a lot better, I think.
Yeah.
So.
In the time I've been here, I would say that the majority of people I talk to like to bring up small town feel, but they want to maintain that. Did you always feel that was important while you were on the council?
Yes,
to do that?
And I think if you look at the growth we've had over the 20 years, I'm very proud of that. I mean, we've grown a lot, but we still have the hometown feel. Yeah. And that, to me, that is very, very important.
Yeah, we just had Winter Wonderland as we're taping
that's
this, and
beautiful.
That's a great example, right?
Yes,
10,000 people come out for something like that?
That's unbelievable, and that's just something that kind of grew from us over the last 20 years. And then, you know, the lights that we put up every year, you know, that's unbelievable that a small city can do that. 300,000
lights strands they had this year.
Unbelievable.
It's incredible.
Tony Gowan does a great job doing that.
He does, and that's part of what you mentioned this before we actually started this. It's the staff, right?
Oh,
that's
absolutely.
what makes the city?
Absolutely. I think, you know, I haven't been to other cities, but I think what makes Papillion as good as Papillion is the staff, you guys, from top to bottom, the workers. I just came by Fortune Drive in Magnolia where there was a water main break, you know, maybe a week ago. There's guys out there backfilling, and it's kind of misting out. So that just goes to show you the dedication that. And it was fun to be part of that.
When you're a part of it as long as you were, there's going to be certain things you leave behind kind of as legacy. I drive by Papillion Landing, and I know that was a lot of work for you guys to get the location and to get that built, but that's got to have a lot of pride seeing that thing done.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And it's kind of, I pushed for that for a long, long time. I didn't think it'd end up being that big. But it's unbelievable. And I'm there 3 days a week. I'm there Monday, Wednesday, Friday, because I got some health problems, but they're getting better. But yeah, it's unbelievable, that place. And one of my favorite things that we did is the park right down here on.
With the Boy Scout shack and everything?
No, First Street
Plaza, the 4th Street Plaza.
Yeah, Plaza. That used to just be a parking lot.
Oh,
now
really?
It's a little gathering place, and I think
they have concerts there.
Yeah,
that's where all the trees were for Winter Wonderland. They have food area there too.
Yeah, I mean, if that was still a parking lot, you wouldn't have that.
Right.
I mean, that to me is one of the better things we've done. And then a lot of things we do too is taking care of all the baseball fields, soccer fields, you know. And that's all for the youth, and that's to me, awesome.
Yeah.
So
I like how you guys a lot of times in the meeting, when someone comes with a plan for housing, you want to include everybody, right? You want to have the starter homes. You want to have that group of people. You want to have people maybe who are after they've had their kids, the empty nesters. You're trying to fill all of those spots, right?
yes, and you know, the starter homes anymore, you know, and I hate to say this, but that could be the thing of the past because as expensive as everything is now, a starter home, and I say that because when I worked for MUD, we used to go into neighborhoods where Habitat for Humanity would take over and build houses. We'd go in there and relay the water mains so they wouldn't have any problems. Well, back then, those houses were selling for $149,000, $150,000. Now they're $250,000, $260,000. So that's even Habitat from Humanity. You know, the price has gone up so much, it's crazy. But we do look at that. We are, and I think we're going to start seeing a little more even after I'm gone. That now I am gone, but it's something that we all have to work on, and I mean not just City of Papillion, everybody.
Right.
It needs to be a everybody thing. So
yeah, because those ones that were starter homes now are rental properties, and you're paying almost more rental properties than you would have been a mortgage. So it does make it difficult.
Yes, it does, and it's kind of sad, but you know, what do you do? I've
been almost a year now of meetings. And there are times where things start dragging on for a while and it'd be a couple of hours. Is there ever a time during your 20 years where you thought, okay, it's time for me to leave? This is going too long.
Yeah, when I first got on, when we were talking about the Walmart development,
really?
We weren't getting out of here till midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning. And I'm thinking, why did I do this? But it all worked out, and it's a lot of fun. You know, no, it's sometimes it gets, I don't know, frustrating, I guess you could say, but you have to listen to the people, and that's the important thing. And I think that's what makes our council as good as it does, because our council does listen to everybody, and I think that's important, because when somebody comes up and has a complaint or situation, we listen to them and we try and react as good as we can. You know, because sometimes our hands are tied.
Right.
We can only do so much, but still. I think a lot of people, too, at times they just like to be listened to, and I think we do a very good job of that.
Yeah, it makes people feel better just to be heard.
Yes, yes.
A couple last questions, and you've mentioned a couple things already, but is there something that you could say you're most proud to have accomplished while you were on the council?
You already said it, Papillion Landing.
His landing.
Yeah. And then all the development that we've done, which is a lot, plus we kept the small town feel. And one of the neat things I think we did too was we revitalized downtown. Downtown, there was nothing here in 2002. You know, a couple businesses. Now we got some restaurants down there. And I don't want to say nothing because there were people down there.
There was the hardware store.
Yeah.
There was the barber shop, the shoe store. Those I know of for sure.
Yeah, and then but we got to kind of woke it up a little bit. And now more people down there, more people coming. So it's that was a nice thing to do too, and that was Mayor Black pushing that. Yes, and he did a great job.
It's one of the last things I was going to ask you. How much important is being able to work with that mayor, and working with Mayor Black doing this whole thing? Very important.
Mayor Black included us in almost everything, and he's a great mayor, and Papillion's very lucky to have him, in my mind, because he really cares about this place. He's good.
Last thing. So what's next for you? What do you got going on?
I might come up here and bother you guys.
We're here. You can always come by.
You know, I don't know. It's right now. I just winter's coming, so take it easy. But once spring comes, I'm gonna be out golfing. And I got a cabin down at Lake Wakanda, my wife and I. So spend time down there. Just enjoy.
This is the time for it.
Yeah, because I retired from MUD in 2020, so now I'm retiring from Papillion in 2022. So just enjoy life.
We'll still see you around the city.
Oh yeah, I'll be around.
Yeah, Gene, we appreciate it.
Thank you. I appreciate it too.
Thank you very much for it. That was awesome. All right. Join us again next time when we again speak to someone who helps make Papillion feel like home.